What is going on, folks? We are back with episode 6, and I am finally back home. Thank you, Jesus. Made it back in one piece. Got back in last night at around, I think about 8 o'clock. So I landed, coming back from Florida, get to LAX. All is good, and had a good flight back. Luckily, didn't have a Boeing flight, or a Boeing plane, should I say. We were on an Airbus, so that was kind of nice. It was not a bad flight. Had a little extra room in between me and another guy on the aisle I was on, or the row that I was on. So that was a little bit of a nice little bit to stretch out on if you got kind of tired of sitting in one position on those seats. So we had a little bit of wiggle room in between the two of us. So yeah, made it back last night. Super tired. Had a long ass day of traveling, but I'm glad to be back home in my own house, chilling. Seeing my family was good. My dog went absolutely ape shit when I got home last night. I've never been away from him for probably more than like 2 days since we've had him in a little over a year. So he was really excited to see me. It was pretty funny. Got some video of him just being really excited, barking and crying and stuff like that. So it was really sweet to see him. Saw the cats and everybody. It was a good time. I'm glad to be back home. First thing I did today, though, I was going to make a Costco trip. So I'm like, all right, cool, we're back. Going to go hit the grocery store, do my Costco run, and make a day out of it, watch some Supercross, and just chill. And I'm on my way to Costco, and my truck decides to take a shit as I'm driving. So that's excellent news. I'm so fucking excited for that. Not really, because now I have truck issues, and it's just all bad, dude. Not really in the mood for that shit right now. I had to muster up the energy and the mindset to really get on here and do this show today, just because I was so bummed out. I just didn't want to deal with anything. I was pissed off all day long. And, to be honest with you, I had to hold myself accountable because I made a deal with myself and really anybody that listens week to week. I don't know if I have any faithful listeners. If you're a faithful listener, let me know, man. But anyways, on the way to Costco today, was driving down the regular street, and I go to accelerate, and the truck just has nothing, no acceleration at all. It just kind of just died real quick and just bogged down. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. So it picked right back up. I didn't have to turn it off or anything, and I go to accelerate, and I'm only probably going like maybe 40, 45 miles an hour. Hit the accelerator again, and the truck just does nothing. And at this point, I'm coming up to a red light, so I stop behind another car, and the truck just turns off. And I'm like, well, fuck, this sucks. Hit the emergency flashers, and turn the truck off, put it in park, turn it off. And then as I'm getting ready to, move through the light again after it cycles, I'm going through the light, turn the truck on, and I go to accelerate again, and it gets up to maybe 10 miles an hour and just fucking dies. I lose power steering, all this shit. And, I'm trying to get it to the side of the street to put it in park or whatever. And, no power steering. So I just got to like Hail Mary it over there. And luckily nobody was coming. So I had, room to go over. I had one guy honking. I'm just kind of, telling him, casual fuck you, but managed to get it over the side of the street, and had to do the whole AAA thing. It was a shitty situation. It was throwing codes and giving me all kinds of weird shit, like the high trans fluid temp and low fluid error, and then it had check the charging system and stuff like that. So I don't really know what's going on, to be honest with it. I've never had a problem with this truck since I've owned it like that. Like it's been a solid truck, and I've owned it for 4 years now. So I'm just kind of baffled. I did get in an accident in it probably like 2 or 3 years ago now, and I think that's the worst thing that happened. It was hitting the front. Somebody had pulled out in front of me, and we hit, and it got pretty fucked up. I actually ended up having rentals for 7 months of the year last year, because of the damage and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't like extensive. It wasn't like on the verge of being totaled or anything, but it was enough. It was enough damage to put it out of commission for a while. And the only reason why I had it in a shop for so long because there was like shortages, like supply shortages of the sensors I needed to get it all back in business, and that was not fun, man. I had all kinds of different rental cars and stuff like that for the whole year. Basically, it was fucking terrible. It was kind of fun, and some of the cars were kind of cool to drive, but man, it was just miserable. I kept racking up fucking bills and bills and bills for rental fees, and I think I was somewhere around the realm of like, by the time it was all said and done, probably around like 15,000 at least in just rental fees. But I guess the upside to that was I saved almost a year worth of driving because I got it back in around October because the accident was like at the end of February. And so, they just kept holding it out, holding it out, and holding it out. Got it back. Actually, I got it back in like the end of September. So I drove it in October, and then I went on a trip for 3 months and got back in February, got back into driving it, but I had no problems with it. I mean, I've driven it everywhere since then, and now it starts to act up. So I don't know. I had to do the whole AAA thing. They took it over to the Toyota dealer out here. So I'm just getting fucked, I guess, today. Welcome back home, Ryan. Real excited to be here. I am back podcasting from the house, finally, not a fucking hotel room. So that's a good thing. Situation sucks. It could be worse, I don't know. I'm trying to find the silver lining to this whole thing, I guess, but just kind of bummed, man. I just don't want to deal with bullshit. Especially after being on a long trip like that, come back and have something shitty to have happen the first day you're back is definitely a bummer deal. But you know what? That's why you have insurance. That's why you get shit handled. And I'm just going to be an adult about it. I'm not going to sit and dwell on it. I mean, it does suck, but I guess it's out of my control at this point. So just going to wait to see what the dealer says about it. And if anything, get some shit replaced and it's going to be all good. I'm not going to sit around and be a fucking big baby about it. I got other shit to worry about. But good thing is also on the flight back, I don't know how I always do this shit. Every time I say something, and I don't know really, it can pertain to whatever kind of just pops in my head, but I have a habit of insanely speaking things into existence. I mean, I could say one thing and then it'll happen here or there, whether it's at work or at home or wherever, and it's always like, damn, I remember you said something about that, or somebody will bring up that I speak things into existence all the time. So I will recall on episode 2, I did not want to sit at the emergency exit of a plane because I was paranoid about the whole Boeing thing and the fucking door popping off and everything. So my connecting flight yesterday from Charlotte to LAX, sure enough, your boy gets the fucking emergency exit. Or actually, no, I was going from Florida to Charlotte. Sorry. Charlotte to LAX was an Airbus, but from Florida into Charlotte, my brain is kind of melted right now. I'm just tired. From Florida into Charlotte yesterday, got the emergency exit. Yeah, was not really stoked on that, to be honest with you. I was kind of just nervous the whole time sitting there, but I had a nice little window to look out of, so it was kind of cool. Got to peep at some stuff here and there, and there was these weird like little fires everywhere, like along like the East Coast going into like Charlotte and stuff. I just kept noticing like fires everywhere, like on the ground. I was just like, what the fuck is with this? There's dozens and dozens of them for whatever reason. I'm not really sure on what the whole deal is with that. Yeah, I actually opted to sit at the emergency door because it was like a little 2x2 plane. There's 2 people on the right hand side, 2 people on the left hand side. The whole way back. It wasn't a big plane at all. It was pretty narrow. But there was a guy sitting to the left of me, and then there was the aisle, and then there was 2 seats to the left. And he comes up and he's like, "Oh, did you want to sit at the window?" And I'm thinking like, yeah. And the only reason why I said that was because there was this lady across the aisle from us that was absolutely just sick as a dog, and she's sitting there fucking hacking her damn lungs up the whole time, and I'm just like, hey, cover your fucking mouth, okay, for one. that little dinky ass little piece of tissue isn't going to do you any good. You're fucking coughing up, your disgustingness into this plane right now. And we're real close together, real close together. And I had been ridiculously sick while I was over in Florida. And I'm just not trying to be fucking ill again, man. Like I'm trying to be ill, trust me, but I'm not trying to be sick with that kind of shit. It's miserable being sick. So I'm trying to avoid that. And so I opted to keep the seat, and it's all good. We made it back. No doors popped off. Landed in Charlotte. Got to hang out in Charlotte's airport. It's fucking badass, dude. It's humongous. There's a ton of shit in there. So I was kind of excited to see a little bit of that at least. We had a pretty quick little layover. We were supposed to be there for about an hour and some change. It ended up being probably like 30 some odd minutes by the time we got off the plane and made it to the gate, which was real quick. We had about 30 minutes before we boarded again. So not a lot of layover time. Got to kind of walk around and hit some little stores and stuff like that while I was there. So that was kind of cool. I always enjoy, new places and stuff like that. So it was cool. Also, this lady that's coughing up her lungs on the airplane was talking on her phone so fucking loud. So loud. And, it's a small airplane and everybody's quieted down and they're doing their little safety presentation and stuff. The stewardess was going through everything. And this lady's just couldn't give two fucks at all about what this lady was doing. If the fucking plane went down, I'd be like, hey, look, you fucking didn't pay attention. You were blabbing on your phone the whole time. And I just think it was I get it. People are going to be in conversation with loved ones, whatever. But she's like doing this whole business thing and she's talking so fucking loud on her phone. And I'm just like kind of like glancing over like, hey, shut the fuck up. Put on like your headphones or something and just pipe it down, all right? Because I don't want to hear your loud ass fucking conversation this whole time. And I kind of want to hear what they have to say in case some shit goes down. I can jump my ass right out this exit door. And if you trip on something, hey, that's your own fault. Put your fucking phone away. Put it on airplane mode and chill like the rest of us. And you get to it when you get to it. It's going to be an hour flight. You just got to fucking shut your mouth. So, yeah, that was kind of annoying. And speaking of annoying things on planes too, people that have to just force their way to exit the plane. Hey, fuck all you guys. That's what I got to say. So many fucking rude ass people, dude. Like, I'm trying to exit this plane, deboard, whatever you want to call it, as we land at LAX, and there's people just fucking running through the middle aisle like, hey, I didn't know you were that important. What are you, a fucking 4-star general of the military or some shit like that? Like, why are you running through this airplane right now? And I don't get it. Like, people just don't have any kind of fucking manners or etiquette when it comes to shit like that. Like, you see me standing there, you're going to fucking run, bump my shoulder to squeeze past me just to get 2 more fucking people in front of me. We're all going to the same place, dickhead. Like, you're not the most important person on this plane, flight, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah, it was just annoying, man. Like, I was just so annoyed by that. I'm fucking done with people and their rude bullshit. And if I had to just tell them something, I would tell them, hey, you're a fucking piece of shit. I just want you to know that. And I hope that you get a flat tire on the way home and fuck off. That's pretty much it. It was kind of funny though. I don't know if it's sad or if it is funny. I think it's a little bit of both. There was this girl that was sitting in the seat in front of me. She was from Florida and was coming to LA to get a tattoo or whatever it was that she was doing. And she's sitting there telling the guy seated next to her, she's like, I'm so excited to see California. I've never been to California. I've always been in Florida. And I'm thinking like, hey, that's kind of how I was, going to Florida. I'd never been to Florida and was excited to see it and enjoy the weather and stuff like that. And if you've listened to the past few episodes, you know that's not the case. It was fucking frigid in Florida. And I'm thinking like, hey, it's supposed to be like 70 degrees out here. That's what I was told, and that's what I've believed my whole life. And I get there, and it's 22 degrees with fucking wind, and 30 degrees with wind, and 40 degrees with wind. And I'm like, hey, where's this nice weather at? I didn't even know that this place could be this cold, and this sucks. So hopefully the next time I go to Florida, if there is a next time, it's like springtime or summertime or something like that, because I am so not down with the cold weather. I get enough of this shit at home, and I swear that I bring the weather with me wherever I go. If I'm going to visit my mom, hey, guess what? It's fucking hurricane ass winds, or it's like shitty weather. And it just sucks, man. Like, especially when you go that far from home and you just want to have nice weather and chill. And as expected, we're getting on the plane to leave Florida, and it's just fucking gorgeous out. Not a cloud in the sky, nice blue skies everywhere. And I'm just like, what are the odds? Last day in Florida, couldn't have a fucking better day. But guess what? We're getting on a plane and we're going back to this rainy ass place in California. This sucks. So that was not cool. I wasn't really digging that. But anyways, I've digressed. This chick that was sitting in front of me, she's just over the moon, real excited to get to California. I'm so excited to just sightsee and just see everything in California and how beautiful it is. I'm like, you know where you're landing at right now? You're landing in LAX. Okay, you're probably going to get robbed right as you get outside this baggage claim, and you're by yourself. You don't have anybody with you. You're rolling solo. You're not getting off at the cream of the crop area around here. I mean, California, as I've always been saying these past 5 episodes, California is a fucking shithole. We all know it. We all hate it. Some of us love it. Majority of us hate it. But it is home. But it is a shithole all at the same time. But I kind of feel for her. She's gonna be pretty disappointed. She's gonna realize there's a lot of camping going on, and that a lot of people hang out in RVs, and she can't walk on the sidewalks because there's literally tents everywhere. There's crackheads and people stealing shit, people fighting, and people getting stabbed and shot and murdered everywhere. But that's plaguing the entire United States as it is. But hey, welcome to California, I guess, huh? Hope you see some nice shit, and hope that you don't get robbed if you ever hear this. I hope that your trip was kind of whatever, I guess. It's not going to be the most glorious thing. You're not going to be posted up in Bel Air. You're going to be probably running around the slums and seeing a lot of nasty fucking people. So she's going to be in for a rude awakening, I'm sure of it. But Florida was cool, man. Had an excellent time out there with everybody. The crew was solid. Got to do a lot of cool stuff. I mean, I didn't really venture out too far, but I made the most of the time that I did have. Got to go check out some nice little spots and stuff like that. So it was cool. It was a breath of fresh air, I guess, getting out of California for a little bit and seeing another side of the U.S. that I had never seen before. Ate some really good food. Ate a lot of steaks while I was there. When I went out, we had steaks. We went to this place, McGuire's, a few times. It's an Irish place, like bar restaurant. And it's massive, dude. There's one in Pensacola, and then there's one in, I believe it's Destin, I'm pretty sure. Don't come after me if I'm wrong. But McGuire's was a really good place to go just hang out, even if you're not eating. But they have some really delicious food. They have an appetizer that they do there. It's called trash, and it's basically just like burnt ends and some sausages and stuff like that. Oh my god, it's to die for. Really, it's like one of the best appetizers I've ever had. It definitely beats a blooming onion. That's for sure. Fucking kills that and any other thing that they can think of. That's just the shit, man. The meat, even if it's just the burnt ends, is just super, super tender, and the sausage is smoked, and it's just delicious, man. They got this barbecue sauce that they do with it, and 10 out of 10 for sure. I ended up getting the bacon wrap filet, and it was amazing, man. Like, it was just so good. Everything in that place is probably just dynamite. They had this thing, it was like, I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was $100 burger. Pretty wild to think about that. I couldn't see myself spending $100, and I guess like the thing with that is that they give you a bottle of Moet to go with it, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not at a nightclub right now, so I don't need the champagne And I definitely am not going to spend $100 on a cheeseburger, no matter what it's made with. It's just like ground filet mignon, and that's about it. I'm just going to order one straight up, bacon wrap that bitch, put it on medium rare, and we're on, dude. Give me a little, couple sides and something to drink, and we're good. But yeah, that place was stellar. Service is stellar. Had a really good time, really good experience with everybody. I ended up going there. I think that was I went there 3 times. The last night we were all there, we went out and had this place. It was a good little cap to the end of the trip, man. That trip was extremely stressful, but it ended up being a success. So can't say anything bad about it. I guess at this point, it all went down good times. But yeah, if you ever find yourself over there in Florida, make sure to hit that place up. It's cool. It's got kind of like a specialty thing. I don't really know if you call it a specialty, but they have the walls are just plastered. I mean plastered with dollar bills, and they're all signed and stuff like that. People sign them, and they give you a staple gun to stick them onto the wall. So threw a few dollars up there, and then the whole team, whole crew signed a few dollar bills, and we made this big ass like display of them. And we got this pink paint marker and did them to where they're like super noticeable. But we were asking the manager like, hey, like how many dollar bills do you think are in this place? And he goes, yeah, they're in between like 2.5 and like 2.6 million just single dollar bills in this place, and they have to have insurance on them. And after a while, the manager was saying that like the feds just stopped coming in because they're like, you guys are making enough business, like we don't have to really keep tabs on this or whatever it was. And they're putting up like tens of thousands of dollar bills like a month. It's just insane. And I mean, they're literally dangling from the ceiling in just an insane amount, and it's everywhere. It goes upstairs, downstairs, across the whole restaurant is just covered in single dollar bills. But yeah, it was cool. Nice little place to go check out. But yeah, it was definitely nice to get home. I was looking forward to getting home the entire time. From the second I left, was just counting it down, and we kept getting extended. But that's just part of the game, man. Needless to say, I'm back home in my own bed, podcasting from my own room, and it just feels amazing. But yeah, while I was out there, I was basically just, holed up in a room, man, just stuck in my room. Kicked it with some of the people a couple nights, and majority of the time was just spent by myself, hanging out in the room, watching YouTube. That's pretty much all I do anyways at home. Seeing as we don't have like regular cable TV, we just have like a bunch of streaming services and stuff like that. So YouTube is the way for me. I watch a bunch of just weird stuff on there all the time. Watch a ton of stuff, man. You can go down like some serious rabbit holes just being on YouTube. You watch one video and then all of a sudden you're watching 5 hours worth of shit, and you look over at the time and you're just like, oops, I didn't know I was going to be watching, this documentary, or, getting into this series or whatever, cooking or whatever you want to call it, videos everywhere. It's just, the YouTube is the best thing ever invented. The majority of my stuff that I watch on there is always usually like music related. I'm watching like live performances from different like bands or musicians or whatever. I watch a lot of like drum playthroughs and stuff like that. So that's always fun to watch like my favorite drummers and stuff performing songs, and just to kind of see how they play live and stuff like that. It's always fun. But I do go into those rabbit holes, man. I've gotten pretty deep into some of them, but usually I'm watching like music stuff, or like motorcycle and dirt bike related stuff, like comedy skits. I don't know. I watch I watch like, it's kind of funny because I've never done airsoft. Like I've owned airsoft guns, but I've never actually played like an airsoft like type of game, like how they have paintball and stuff like that. And there's this guy that I watch, his channel. It's called Kicking Mustang. He goes everywhere and does like these super hardcore airsoft matches, and this guy is just dialed. I mean, he's got like ghillie suits and a bunch of different guns and stuff like that, but he usually does like, he takes up like a sniper role in the games that he plays and is just picking people off like dome shots. And it's amazing to see this guy. So I find myself watching his YouTube channel a lot. And yeah, like I said, I watch random shit. I'll watch his stuff. I always watch battle bots. I'm like determined to go and see that live in Vegas. I really want to go see a BattleBots match. I think that'd be pretty fun. But yeah, I watch all kinds of weird shit. Like I watch those like model trains and stuff like that that people build, and they put like little GoPros on them and stuff like that, and they just send them off on the track. I don't know why. I think that's so fascinating, like that, and like anything like really radio controlled. I watch those videos, but yeah, I don't know. I find myself just getting fixated on those like weird videos and stuff on YouTube. And like I said, I'll just be on there for hours watching just random shit. And I don't know. Sometimes I learn stuff. Sometimes I'm just like, I gotta get the fuck off the computer. I've been on here for hours now, just aimlessly just scrolling and clicking on random shit. But one of the things that I figured out that I liked was this guy that I saw on Instagram. Came across it just randomly through I don't know if it was the Explore page or something sponsored, but this guy, he's a rapper out of London. His name is M.R. He like raps in a Jamaican style. It's pretty crazy because like I've never found myself listening to that kind of stuff, and I've always been into like finding new styles of music to listen to, so I've never really like shied away from it. But this guy is crazy, dude. Like he raps. He's a white guy for one, so he's not, your typical like Jamaican guy. You see him and you're just like, huh? Like, who the fuck is this guy? He reminded me at first, like, because I thought it was like a spoof thing, but he reminded me of the Ali G show, Sacha Baron Cohen's character from a long time ago when I was in like seventh, eighth, or ninth grade or whatever. He had a show called the Ali G Show, and it was on HBO. And if you're not familiar with that, it's the same guy that did, he played like Borat and Bruno, and he also had the movie The Dictator, and he had a movie called Ali G in the House, and he gets into the House of Representatives or whatever, or Parliament or whatever the fuck they have in England. I know it's pretty crazy, but yeah, so he's like this like super like Jamaican guy or whatever, and he's from the UK and just has like this like hip hop style and stuff. So when I seen this guy M.R, I kind of just had a flashback to watching this. And I mean, this guy though, he's serious, and he's got some pretty good stuff. Like I was listening to a lot of his stuff, checking out his videos. He's on like Apple Music and stuff like that too. So I just I got a kick out of watching him do his thing. But he's got a viral song called Turn Red. And I was busting up laughing at this song the first time I heard it. And I was like, okay, now I got to listen to the rest of his music, because I don't know if it's going to be like this or similar in any other kind of way. So I got into listening to it. And yeah, it's just kind of like some mood. I don't know. It's different. It's Jamaican style, but he's got some flair to it, I guess. Pretty talented guy. He can rap pretty quick. Yeah, just something different, man. Like I said, I'm always looking for something different to check out, stay up on my music tip there. I enjoy music thoroughly, so anything new that I can listen to, I'm always looking for different stuff. So send it my way if you got some stuff that you would suggest me listening to. I don't get into the mumble rap or none of that shit. I think that's just funny to listen to and joke around, if anything. But I don't take any of that shit too seriously. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Just YouTubing, being really bored and dying to come home. And then once I'm home, getting the shit into the stick. But that's life for you. Can't really do anything about that. But with the podcast, though, man, I'm enjoying this. It's the 6th episode. I had to will myself into here to get this one out for you guys, because I did make a deal. I said it's going to be weekly, and I'm sticking to it. If I'm not in a good mood, I don't know. I'm not in a good mood. If I'm in a good mood, then, you're going to probably get some crazy shit. I know last week I did go heavy on the political side of things. And like I said, I'm not sorry about it. I'm just letting you know, hey, if you didn't listen to episode 5 and you are interested in hearing some heavy shit, go take a listen to that. I was riffing on a lot of political type of shit that episode. And, that's just my opinion on things right now. Not really going to try to be on that consistently or anything like that. It's just kind of more of an emotional kind of thing that I was just getting out that last episode. So if you enjoy that kind of shit, or if you have any kind of need to see what I was talking about, I would definitely go check out episode 5. It was a fun one. It's a long one, so just be ready for that. It's like just under an hour long, I think, is how long that one was, which is definitely a good amount of time to be listening, even to be recording. That's a pretty good amount of time. But I've just been trying to stay active, man, on like the social media and stuff. I know this last week was kind of rough just because work and stuff like that, having a difficult schedule, and I was just trying to post as much as I could when I had some time and just get that engagement up on all my socials and stuff, trying to follow a trend there, just not be too off base with the social media posting and stuff like that. Just because starting a podcast is really hard. It's really hard. Trying to get the stuff up and running organically, really. I know a lot of people will pay for ads or they'll pay for followers. Like I'm not about to do all that shit. I'd rather get people that are interested in the show listening and sharing in an organic kind of way, where they're referring people to the show, or they're sharing the stuff from the show with their friends or whatever it may be. I prefer to do that instead of paying for shit, because that's like cheating. I can understand if there was like a sponsor or something like that came and was like, hey, we want you to pitch our item or whatever, our clothing label or a brand or whatever. That might be a little bit different, because that would be like a cool little partnership thing. But I'm not about to go and pay for people to follow the page and have bots and all that bullshit. I don't have time for that. That's for suckers, man. That shit sucks. So I just am really relying on people listening to the show, sharing it, and just kind of, you don't have to blast it all over your page or anything like that. That's not what I'm asking. But the more we get the word of mouth thing kind of going, it does benefit. I actually just hit 50 followers. I know it's not a huge amount or anything like that on Instagram, but it's somewhat of an accomplishment for me, seeing as I've been putting a lot of work into planning these shows out and kind of getting all my my stuff in line with presenting a show that's actually like fun to listen to each week, even though last week, I understand, was a little heavy on the politics side. So oops. But like I said, I'm not sorry about it. It's my show. If you don't want to listen to it, like I said, fucking too bad. Turn it off. It's all good. Not gonna break my fucking heart over it. But yeah. So the more we're getting the name out there, the more we're sharing the show. I'm gonna be blasting it and just getting more people to jump online with it and come and hang out. Even eventually, once I get everything situated here, start having some guests on, doing some collab stuff, just having some fun with it, like I always say. But yeah, I don't really have too much more. This one's kind of a little on the shorter side of the bridge, but it's still available on all the streaming platforms and stuff like that, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc. You can find me on YouTube and everything. Following my socials is a very important thing. So if you guys are not following yet on any of these, Instagram, YouTube, or X, I really haven't delved too far into. I've, a couple posts on there, some fun stuff, but nothing crazy. I haven't followed anybody. I don't even have a single follower on X. So if you guys are messing with that, go and give me a follow on that. That's the newest thing I've kind of gotten into. You can follow me on X at Digital Demons Pod. It's DGITLDMNSPOD, Digital Demons Pod, and that's on X. And if you guys are looking the show up on YouTube, you guys can just type in Digital Demons Podcast and it'll pop up. I got the whole podcast series on there now. I have the individual videos where you can listen to everything as it comes up. Do your thing on there. Or good old Instagram. You can get me at digital_demons_podcast. and that's on Instagram. Let's go and boost those numbers up, man. I'm looking forward to having all the interaction. Last week I had some questions and stuff that I answered, so that was kind of cool. I think I might do something different this coming week and see what kind of responses I get. And if you guys have any emails or questions or something like that that you want to send, I can be reached at digitaldemonspodcast@gmail.com. So feel free to hit me up and, let me know what's good with you, man. I hope you guys are all doing good this week. For those of you that aren't, just keep your head up, man. Like I said, shit can always be worse. You just got to put yourself in other people's shoes, and, majority of the time it's not so bad. So, if there's any words for this week, just remain positive. That's all I got for you guys. So I appreciate everybody that's been listening to the show week in and week out, getting those numbers up on the views and plays and stuff like that, and likes and just the interaction all in one. It's cool to see. So I'm very appreciative of everybody that's supporting the show and everybody that is to support the show still. We got to get the name out there, get everybody rallied up behind this thing, and hopefully we start kicking it off with some guests pretty soon. We'll see. It's another week coming up, guys, so hopefully you guys are all safe and sound, and we'll see you guys next week for episode 7. Take care of yourselves. Peace.